You're like, Poochie, thanks for the sub. Like that. If I was that
Poochie
guy,
2001, thanks for the
if
sub.
I was that guy, I instantly unsubbed. Like I
don't
already
think that's-
clicked do not renew. I'm
Connor,
fucking
the
out of
lovely
there.
gentleman, is joining the show. Where are you calling from,
What is
Connor?
up, gang? I'm calling from New Hampshire.
Hey!
Long
I'm
time
not-
listener, first time caller, am I right?
Yo, but you're the first one to
You
make that
right,
joke
you
on the
right.
show.
Yo, wait, the first one?
Yes.
Yeah, no one's
I'm
ever made
actually
that before.
feeling really good about that, then.
All right, Connor. What do you want to talk to us about?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about casting, and if the talent pool right now is too wide to even attempt to get into it.
Oh, this is great. I love this topic. I think there's
instantly
no
say-
talented casters at all on the broadcast, so I feel like
Yeah.
you'll be able to
I
just
think there's
walk
a
in and take the
couple
job.
good ones and a couple you could definitely bump off.
Yeah.
It's
There's at
definitely
least
very
one talented caster in the call right now.
yeah, exactly. It's very similar to reporters. You know, there's just no one good, and like no one
and
you
all
wanna
the good ones
talk
don't
to,
have jobs.
no
They're
one
all
you wanna
unemployed.
listen
You know,
to.
that's
yeah,
the,
exactly.
that's the
Yeah, they
real
just get
tragedy.
brought around out of pity.
Yeah. All right, so Connor, do you want to contextualize your question a little bit more? So you want to talk about casters and if there's enough room. Do you
Yeah.
want to be a caster? Maybe you can spell it out a little bit more.
At least as like a hobby, maybe a career, I don't know. But like if you look at the casters that go to like Worlds or something, they already have like what 30 people coming, or NA team is like 8 people already. I'm pulling numbers out of the air.
That's
but,
okay. We don't use facts on this show.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just the numbers are already so high for who's in the industry. Like how much room is there? The talent's already there.
So
What do you do?
I personally think that like there is room. I mean, there's lots of people who like are relatively new and are getting to do stuff. I got to do World Finals this year, and this was my first full year of league casting. Right, like I've cast a lot of other stuff, and I've cast for a long time. But Captain Flowers is another example. He was at Worlds this year. Last year, he was literally casting from his bedroom for like events that very very few people were watching.
Freak's mom's basement.
Yeah, like EU is literally they're searching for a color caster right now. Quickshot is posting on Twitter saying they're looking for color casters. I've seen things about like the LPL English broadcast was looking for casters. There's a lot of regions and stuff that need casters, and there is turnover and there is opportunities I think to get in. As far as like is it easy? No, I think it's hard as fuck, and I think that most people that are casting the top level stuff are people who have been doing it for a really long time, right? Like I was talking to Quickshot about this. Like the first time I started casting in 2010, right? So I've been casting for a really long time. Quickshot said he started casting in 2006 or something, so going on 12 years for him, right? Like a lot of people do it for a lot of time, and if it's something that you enjoy and it's something that you're passionate about it, then you should do it for fun, and you should like try to work your way up, right? There's smaller events you can do, there's things that you can like practice at, and if you're good, I think that there's going to be more opportunities. But like if someone is doing it just to become like, oh, I only want to do this if I'm going to cast for LCS in like a year or something, then I think there's no chance. And it's the same way I feel about pro gaming. Like if you're loving what you're doing and you're working really hard at it, then I think you can get to where you want to go. But if you will only be happy that you spent time on it if you become a pro gamer, if you become a pro caster, then I think it's like kind of a waste of time.
Azael, what is the? Because I'm assuming you get this message a lot. You probably get people tweeting you, DMing you. Maybe your DMs are closed. I don't know. But do you get a lot of people reaching out asking how to become a caster?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I get that all the time with content creator, YouTube, whatever. But so we'll just clip this part of the show out, and then you'll have something to link to everybody. How do you recommend people go about becoming a caster? If they want to cast on the LCS desk, they know they can't do it maybe like 2018 season, how do they get there?
You start casting. I mean, it's honestly, it sounds stupid, but you have to practice. It's something that the people who are doing what you want to do now are people that generally have thousands of hours working towards it, right? Like I think very few people got where they got by luck. I think most people got there through hard work, whether it's in doing interviews or casting or whatever it is you're doing. Like most people spend a lot of time doing it, and I think you can start casting your friends' replays. You can start casting like there's community tournaments and things like that have a handful of viewers that you can cast those. I mean, Captain Flowers, like the clip that kind of got him famous is doing English broadcasts of like LMS and things like this, right? So there's opportunities, but I think you have to go out there and you have to start doing it, and you have to be doing it consistently, because the people that are already doing it are working at it nonstop. And if you want to take someone's job, you have to be better than them, and that means you have to spend more time. You have to work harder. You have to, become better.
Connor, do you have other questions or follow-ups?
Do you think you like at this point in time, do you think along with hard work you need a gimmick to your casting, or like to be overly hyped to break in to the scene as a new caster? Like I know Captain Flowers is like a super hype guy, and he's like one of the newer people. Like to gain an audience, do you think that hype is required?
I don't think so. I think that like if you're a play-by-play guy, I think being exciting, being like having hype moments is certainly a prerequisite. But I think that's true of every single play-by-play. I think if you're trying to be a color caster, I know Zyrene was making like YouTube content and doing like analytical stuff, and like I think that there's ways that you can get in without it having to be like screaming over clips and things like that. It's just making content that people want, like showing that you have knowledge for the game, and being consistent, right? And if you can show that you know a lot about the game, if you can show that like you are offering something and you're like working on your technique and you're doing all these things, then I do think that there will be opportunities.
I think just to chime in, coming from even broader of an angle, from like content creators, streamers, this kinds of thing, you should have a reason that people should watch you. Like if you can't say what separates you or makes you special, not to everybody, why, but like at least why some people should watch you. If you don't have a good answer for that, you need to find that answer somewhere. Because like Azael was saying, there are people out there who are doing really cool stuff. A lot of people have things that separate them. Like for me, I was a coach. I actually worked and lived and breathed the scene for 2 years behind before I started being more on camera. And I think a lot of people have stuff to separate them and make them stand out, and it goes well beyond esports. Like Dr. Disrespect stood out because he put on a mullet and a mustache and started screaming about how he's the best. Like you don't need a gimmick, even though that one kind of does fall into that category, but you need to stand out for some reason. Shroud, on the complete other hand, is just fucking amazing. That's why people watch him, to pull from non-league examples, right? Like
PUBG, yeah, for those that don't know.
Yeah, PUBG. One guy is hilarious. One guy is just the best, and they have things that stand out.
And it's the same guy, Dr. Disrespect, the best and most hilarious person streaming PUBG today.
Yeah, you're right. There you go.
Connor, anything else you'd like to ask about casting?
No, I think all my bases are covered.
Yeah. Thanks so much for calling on the show, man.
Thanks,
yeah,
man.
thanks for having me.